Welcome back to episode 6. Jungkook turned off the shower and wrapped in a towel. He wanted to dress Taehyung at least in a bathrobe, but then he stopped the idea with a smirk. He lifted Taehyung in a bridal style and came out of the bathroom and gently placed him on the bed. He wiped the water with a towel and placed it over his open body and walked back to the bathroom. He changed himself into a bathrobe and came back to bed. JK slept under the cover and hugged Taehyung, placed a kiss on his lips as he whispered against the lips, JK, you are going to be the death of me. Walked out of the bathroom and fixed his dress. He stared at himself in the mirror. He noticed a dark purple mark on his neck and smiled as he went on to cover it up with the rest of the world. The next morning, when he woke up, he was all alone in the bed without clothes. A blush crept over his cheeks as the memory of last night's event. They touched his body as he remembered Jungkook's touches. All he remembered from last night is him reaching his high and releasing in Jungkook's hand. He loved the word Jungkook whispered in his ear, JK, you will be death of me, kept resonating in his mind the whole day. And that made him smile like an idiot. He knew he was falling for the sky. Jungkook was not just driving towards himself, but also emotionally. He unknowingly stopped fearing JK, and now he was catching feelings for him. Just then, Jimin bragged into the room and jumped over Taehyung's waist. Jimin, look at my new phone, he said, showing a brand new phone to his friend. Tae, what? A phone? From where did you get that? They let you have a phone? Taehyung asked in all shock. He dropped it from Taehyung's waist. And Jimin, Yoongi brought for me, he said. A blush didn't go unnoticed by Taehyung. Tae, what? Why would he buy a phone for you? Jimin began to avoid eye contact. Hey, tell me, Jimin, where did you get this from? He asked again, giving up. Jimin dragged him towards the bed. He made him sit, held his hands and squeezed them. Jimin, Taehyung, listen to me. Please don't break. I have been wanting to tell you this from the beginning, but okay, listen. Yoongi got this phone for me as a gift. He said, Tae, why would he gift you a phone? Jimin, that's because I gave you something. And what's that? Jimin, okay, let me get it straight. He is my sugar daddy. And at this point, Taehyung's eyeballs grew big as watermelons. He got up and looked clueless. What? What? He screamed. Jimin, see, that's why I told you not to freak. Jimin stood up as he said, we can't have that, Jimin. What if Jungkook find it? He will kill you, Taehyung said out of fear. Jimin, don't worry, Taehyung. Yoongi said he would take care of it. Chill. Jimin seems to be taking the stay at Mafias as a casual vacation. Taehyung was being scared of Jimin's behavior. He didn't want Jimin to risk his life. Then already that he was, but Taehyung didn't knew what the fact that Jimin and Yoongi were developing feelings in a much better phase than Jungkook and Taehyung. You must have learned making pancakes from your mom, said Ria. Jungkook's mom, as Taehyung and her were making pancakes. Taehyung's smile dropped. I was brought up in an orphanage, so I don't know who my parents are. He said Taehyung he wasn't mourning over this fact, but as a human, he did wish to have that love care. turned and caressed Taehyung's cheeks. Don't be sad. I will treat you just like my other sons. Just don't ever get against King. She took a deep breath and placed her hand over Taehyung's shoulder. "Rhea, I know. I can see the spark between you two. You don't really know him. He isn't king when he is with you." Just then, Jin came back home from somewhere. Rhea and Taehyung walked towards the couch where Jin sat softly. Shortly, Namjoon came in and sat beside his wife. Taehyung observed the tension between the couple and Rhea. It looked like Rhea was asking something from the couple. Jin hung his head low. Namjoon looked at Rhea and shook his head in no. "That's it." Jin ran into his room, shutting the door behind him. Namjoon sighed sadly and walked into the room, locked the door behind him so sobs could be heard from the room. Rhea looked at him. Her sadness was visible. Namjoon ran towards him and hugged him tight. He rubbed his back as in a smoothing manner. "Jin, why is it has to be me? Why I can't have kids?" He cried out loud. "Namjoon, it's okay, baby. There are so many people without having own kids." "Jin, but why on earth I have to be the one among those people? Why me?" He screamed. Namjoon pulled away from the hug and held his face, kissed his forehead. "Jin, I am along with you in this, baby. I will love you for to the core with or without our kids." "Jin," he said. He continued to cry. The feeling of not being able to be a pa was hurting him. "Jin, I have no one to call me Appa. I can't live like this. I have dreamed of becoming Appa all my life." He clenched Namjoon's collar as he sobbed on his chest. A drop of tear rolled down his cheek, seeing his wife's waist breaking into pieces. "Namjoon, Jin, we can adopt one. There are a lot of kids who wants to have parents. We can take them in. They will call you Appa," he said. Jin lifted his head. This thought had not crossed his mind at all. He saw a ray of hope in Namjoon's words. "Jun, if you want, we will adopt a newborn baby, maybe a month older or so that we can feel like it's our own baby, own child, baby," he said. Jin smiled a little. He extended his right hand a little as he asked, "Jin, promise?" Namjoon held his right hand and replied, "A promise," as he kissed him and assured his promise. They kissed passionately, but Jin didn't let him pull back. "Jin, please make me forget the pain, please," he whispered against his lips. The next moment, Namjoon marked his neck hard to take the pain away from with pleasure. Taehyung could see that something was going wrong with Jin. Though they were close, Taehyung didn't want to invade their privacy, so he decided to wait till Jin himself tell him. Jin was just like him, and Jimin had spoken a lot. Loved spending time with them. After 2 more days, everyone in the house had got to know that Taekook is a thing, but what kind of thing? No one knew, cause they themselves don't know. Taehyung was in kitchen tossing few veggies when a hand slipped around his waist and he knew who it was. Face was pressed against his neck and wet kisses were placed there. Taehyung cooking shows down a little at this. He wasn't ready to face Jungkook after that night incident and he felt shy. Jungkook slowly moved his lips against his cock and kissed his skin, and a cry slipped out of Taehyung's lips. That's it. He kissed his yellow as he whispered, "JK, my office," in 5 minutes, and detached himself from Taehyung's body and disappeared. Taehyung stood there shy and blushing. After a while, he realized that he burned all the veggies under the influence of pleasure. Toasted the knob and walked in, his eyes searching for the Jungkook's pet animal. "JK, I know you are scared of her, so I told Ken to shift her to my office at the top floor." Jungkook's voice came from his behind. He turned around with tomatoes on his cheeks. Jungkook walked close towards him and held his waist. Taehyung confidently placed his hand over Jungkook's shoulder as he leaned in for the kiss. The kiss was so full of desire that Taehyung didn't even realize that he was now sitting on Jungkook's desk and his legs around Jungkook's waist. "Okay, open your mouth," Jungkook said against him again, asking Taehyung to let him in. He opened his mouth a little for Jungkook to explore. Jungkook backed from the kiss when he realized that Taehyung was growing needy. He pulled back and Taehyung whined at the loss of Jungkook's lips. Jungkook stared at into eyes, if taking his soul out. He moved a strand of hair back and tucked it behind ear. "JK, do you remember me telling you about your boundaries, princess?" he asked. Taehyung began to sweat in fear. Jungkook might have not got to know about Jimin's new phone. It was against his rules, one of the boundary. Suddenly remember what Rhea had told him about Jungkook, and he feared for his friend, keeping his worry away. He nodded his head at Jungkook. "JK, good. Do you remember what I had told about the freedom?" Taehyung nodded again. Jungkook is definitely going to shoot him in his head. Taehyung thought. "JK, good. I'm impressed with your behavior and wish to take you out," he said clearly loud. "Taehyung, what?" Taehyung asked back as if he didn't hear him. "JK, I had told you that I will let you go out once in a while if you behave, and you did, so I'm taking you out tomorrow," he said, and unknowingly Taehyung sighed in relief. Soon a blush crept over his cheeks and he smiled. "Hey, where are we going?" he asked. It wasn't a date or something to keep it as a surprise, so told him that we're going to a beach and a little far from this mansion. Taehyung happily agreed. They kissed one more time and Taehyung came out of the room. He stood against the wall of the room in amusement. He would get to see Jungkook all day and also get to kiss him, and his mind was going to go wild at the thought. Suddenly he remembered that Jungkook doesn't know what Yoongi buying a phone from Jimin, and smiled in relief. Maybe they had few more days in life. Just then the office door opened and Jungkook walked out. He came close to Taehyung as he whispered, "JK, don't worry much about Jimin. He is Yoongi's responsibility." How could he be so dumb to not have thought that Mafia brothers would definitely track his every activities? They aren't that dumb to buy a phone to their prisoners without any extra setup. His mom was right. Jungkook is not talking with him. The next morning, Jungkook and Taehyung left to their beach picnic. Since they had decided that they would stay the night there. They didn't have to leave early in the morning. Jungkook, did you bring your swimsuit? Jungkook asked as he sat in the driver's seat. Oops, I don't have one, replied Taehyung as he hopped himself next to Jungkook. JK, okay then, let's buy one at the nearest store, he said, and drive the car. They were in comfortable silence until Jungkook pulled over to a shopping mall. He pulled his wallet out of his pant pocket, and handed Taehyung his black card. JK, go and buy one you liked, just be quick. We don't want to be stuck in the traffic now, do we? Princess Jungkook. Taehyung questioned himself. Why would Jungkook let him go to the store alone? Did he finally have come to trust him? Then, nevertheless, he took the card and walked out of the car and entered the shopping mall. When he reached the clothing section, he saw that the mall actually had two entrances. The one faced the highway where Jungkook was waiting for him outside. The other was facing the busy street to opposite. It was crowded there, and he could easily get himself lost among the people. It would take at least 15 minutes for Jungkook to alone to find him, and in the meanwhile, Taehyung would get enough time to escape from the spot. He thought that with Jungkook's card, he definitely can reach a police station and report a case against him. And his card would be a proof of his words for police to believe in his words. But by this, he can even bring Jimin back to their normal life. His heartbeat increased and he made his decision. He walked to the swimsuit section and decided to buy the one and catch his attention, the one with pink and yellow flowers design on it. He then walked to the counter and paid the amount. Then he thanked her and walked back to Jungkook's and settled in the seat. He smiled at Jungkook and handed his card back to him. Maybe Taehyung was little finger and kind-hearted, but he wasn't a fool. He can't risk Jimin's life again. Jimin was still in Jungkook's den. Would suit Jimin the moment Taehyung escaped and would pretend to not know Taehyung or Jimin and the card. That wouldn't be a big deal. He would just say that he lost it a few days ago. Taehyung knew all this, and he didn't want to take a chance. If Jungkook trusted him in even a little to send him alone to the mall, then he would continue to do as Jungkook wants and get out of this mess alive. Just then, Jungkook received a message that read, he didn't speak to anyone. He didn't try to even escape after seeing the back entrance. JK, good job, thank you, he replied and smiled at Taehyung, who was busy in observing the new swimsuit. It was a text from the girl at the counter. Jungkook owned the mall. It was all his, just a taste for Taehyung. Jungkook smiled and dropped the car towards their destination, and Taehyung seems to have passed the test. To be continued. So Jungkook did not trust Taehyung fully. Of course he will not. He is a mafia after all. But I hope he did now. And what do you think about this episode? And what do you think Jungkook gonna do? As he also get feelings for Taehyung. So I hope they will get together. See you again. Bye bye.